Mr. Chairman, it's a great honor to be here with all of you. Concern for the security and prosperity of the free world should unite all of us. At a time, as we have discussed today, when that free world is being tested in so unprecedented a manner, our resoluteness in standing tall and together is of great moment. That unity is essential because its values, as we have discussed, of individual dignity, freedom of thought and expression, and maintaining the rule of law, as well as security and prosperity, are crucial. We will need to fortify that lasting firewall of security and prosperity together. Today, adversarial foreign investments can be just as detrimental, a source of peril as overt wars. To offset this, we have every reason to strengthen our international alliances and to take steps to bolster our economic security. Addressing the pertinent supply chain and nearshoring issues, international cooperation, public-private partnerships, tactical exchanges, and of course, intelligence sharing will be key, absolutely vital to that endeavor. First, sanctions on purveyors of technology harmful to the free world has been regarded as a paramount and indispensable imperative. The US government, like other countries, has imposed potent sanctions on the Chinese state's providers of surveillance technology. Several such firms effectively are the instrumentalities of the state. Intellectual property theft, espionage, the supplying of telecommunications equipment to rogue states vowing to obliterate the free world, and artificial undercutting of prices are just some of the transgressions. Others, of course, are the failure to adhere to appropriate standards and to engender a detrimental dependency. Next come export controls. Russia, we have found out, is on the US government's ITAR list of countries to which export or import of defense articles is banned. 2 additional USG impositions are illuminating. The Commerce Department has been implementing a comprehensive multinational agreement to manage weapons technology. And last year, the President issued an executive order preventing US persons from buying or selling securities in 59 Chinese military-industrial complex companies. Moreover, the Federal Communications Commission has banned the approvals of risky Chinese telecommunications equipment as they present an unacceptable national security risk. Still, our problems are going to continue, and invariably so, until we develop an industrial base and marketplace through a whole free world approach. During COVID, we used to call it the whole government approach. This is the whole free world approach. And for that vision to be actuated, we're going to need 4-quadrant partnerships among free world's allies across the hemispheres. Without this economic fortification, it's going to be bandage on a dam. It's just not going to work. Third, there is the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, which is called CFIUS. It's a potent interagency working group of the US government to regulate investment inflow into the country. CFIUS is composed of 16 federal agencies and offices that determines whether a wide variety of proposed transactions. Well, as the congressman very graciously alluded, CFIUS works out mitigation agreements with the acquirers, though the president may block a transaction. And most of the recent transactions that the president has blocked were Chinese semiconductor acquisitions. In 2018, the White House blocked the US semiconductor manufacturing leader Qualcomm's belligerent acquisition by the Singaporean Broadcom, even though it was not a Chinese acquirer. CFIUS articulated that this takeover could perpetuate Huawei's 5G-related dominance in the global telecommunications market. And for similar reasons, CFIUS has delayed its approval of China Oceanside Holdings' acquisition of Genworth, which is a US insurance provider. It was concerned very much about the data privacy vulnerabilities and increased likelihood of breaches. It imposed the mitigation measure on Genworth that the latter would use a US-based third-party service provider to manage and protect personal data. And of course, it's very much been in the news that CFIUS this year was facing significant pressure to stop the Saudi-backed merger of PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and LIV Golf. So the overall purpose of CFIUS and such inbound investment review mechanisms is to protect the free world's agrarian, technological, and commercial prowess. Piercing the corporate veil of the foreign acquirer often reveals that its actual nationality is, in fact, a hostile one. And when the hostile power's surveillance or hegemony could injure the US government's access to high-quality, affordable, vital commodities, spy on our country, misappropriate or sabotage crucial data, or increase the likelihood of proprietary technologies usurpation, all of which have occurred, the committee tries to act most swiftly. And in the spirit of all this, augmenting the free world's own supply chains by adhering to the defense industrial base sector is of great importance. Sometimes regarded as nearshoring or even friendshoring, preserving the integrity of the supply chain is essential for economic security. And so is maintaining the bulwarks against adversarial capital. Hundreds of ongoing foreign investments worth tens of billions of dollars come from hostile nations into the United States. Concepts such as the trusted capital marketplace have been floated as ways to trace the origin of investment. It is stated that this marketplace would be an online forum where technology and defense industry companies, both large and small, can be paired with investors who are interested in contributing to the national defense. Moreover, in August, the president issued his reverse CFIUS executive order. He deemed them to be an unusual and extraordinary threat to our national security, and this EO is, in many ways, a declaration of emergency. It restricts US semiconductor, quantum IT, and some artificial intelligence investments in various Chinese, and that includes Hong Kong and Macau, entities, and it requires the investors to notify the government about those transactions. Of course, reverse CFIUS's notification requirement is not the same thing as the clearance process that CFIUS, by contrast, demands. Focused on private equity, greenfield investments, venture capital, and joint ventures, this order is designed to stop US capital and subject matter expertise from assisting Chinese entities from developing military intelligence, surveillance, or cyber-related technologies. The concern is that otherwise this would hasten hostile powers' military improvements. So we've come to the end of our discussion, and it's important to appreciate that hostile powers, their agents, and their instrumentalities endeavor to assail our intelligence barriers in acquiring or undermining our assets. All this is in service of promoting their vision of the world. For those who wish to inflict grievous injury on us, no longer is lodging a blatant fusillade in the arms race strategically the most prudent approach. The most prudent approach is to be far more clandestine and subversive. Their means today are far more surreptitious and lethal. And in neutralizing those tactics, we've got to keep in mind that we have to pursue strategies that do honor to our core principles, as we have discussed, of justice, freedom, and fulfilling our mission and duty. Only then will our success be unreserved and complete. Thank you very much for your attention.